Hey guys, welcome back to Don't Be Blindsided. I've got a movie for you to check out. It's called Encounter. Now, this is the one that came out in 2021. It is an Amazon original, and you can watch it free right now on Amazon Prime Video. It does have audio description for the visually impaired out there. So, it was a lot of help in this movie because a lot went on. It's basically like a suspenseful science fiction type of movie. So if you like science fiction and suspenseful stuff, this is going to be right up your alley. And I like suspense, so this one of the reasons I chose it, that and it being a newer one. And pretty much, the movie is about this man by the name of Malik. And you kind of really don't know much about him in the beginning because it's starting off with a woman and her two boys. And the boys are his sons. Jay is the oldest one, and then Bobby is the youngest one. And, he's getting letters from his daddy because, he's a Marine and all that, and he's away and all that mess. And one night they're in bed and they wake up to, lo and behold, their daddy. And what I thought was odd, I was like, okay, because he's flashing a light in their eyes, like a little, like, pin light or something, a little light, flashing, looking in their eyes. And he's like, oh, okay, you're good. And then he did it to the youngest boy, too. And I was like, what is he doing? And I thought that was strange, but it don't take you long to find out what he's doing. He is pretty much convinced that extraterrestrials are pretty much taking over, like, humans by parasites and insects and everything like that. So he is, so when you're hearing all this, they're like, oh my gosh, is he for real or is he imagining this? And in the beginning, you can't tell because, for instance, there's this one scene, the oldest boy, Jay, he's got to go to the bathroom. And, they're going down a road. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So he pulls over, and him and his son, they stand out, and they relieve themselves. Well, a cop pulls up, and the cop is like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, we just had to go to the bathroom. And the cop is like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. He's like, yeah, I only have my boys for the weekend, and we're just trying to get a head start. And I was like, something is weird. So the cop is wanting to frisk him. And the cop finds a gun on the man. And this man beats the crap out of this cop. And I was just like, oh my gosh, he just left this cop for dead because he gets in the car and just goes. His two boys are like looking in the back glass, like freaking out. And you're assuming the cop is dead, because he's just laying there. And later on, like, it's daytime, and the cop, like, gets up, spits out blood and teeth, and then gets in the cop car and pulls out a tooth, and you're like, is he an alien? I'm like, what? It makes you, like, really think, okay, this guy's onto something. And, he's obsessed with, like, bug spray. He's telling his boys, as long as you keep bug spray on you, you're fine. Nothing will happen to you. And I'm just like, okay. But you start to find out later on in the movie because he's starting to get paranoid and everything like that. And you're like, okay, something is not right. So he ends up calling a woman named Hattie, who you find out is his parole officer. And it's like, oh gosh, this man has been in prison and you're thinking, oh my gosh, did he escape? What is going on? You're just kind of like mind jumbled, like trying to figure out, you know, is there extraterrestrials? Is he like mentally unstable? But when he's talking to his parole officer, you know, she's like, you missed your psych eval. And it's like, oh no. So then you realize, in all reality, he has kidnapped his boys. And he has gotten like a 22-hour head start on law enforcement, and they don't know where he's at and everything like that. Well, the oldest boy is starting to realize Daddy's head ain't on straight. Something is off, you know. And, you know, about the whole bug spray and how it's got to be on them at all times. And he starts freaking out. And they're ended up camping out in this, like, desert type area. Well, they go to get back in the car. Well, the tire's flat. And so they're trying to find another car. And he ends up, this guy goes into this just random house and, like, is tiptoeing through, you know, and he finds keys. Well, there's a man in there with a shotgun facing him, and it's like, oh, Lord. But when Malik is looking at the man, he is seeing worms and bugs, like, crawling out of his nose and his mouth, and he's thinking, oh, my gosh, he's infected, you know, by the aliens. So it ends up being a confrontation and everything when he steals the cars and they book it. And, you know, the boys are just like, you know, freaked out at this point and not really knowing what's going on. And I don't want to get too much into it because I will talk forever about this movie because so much goes into it. But if you do like suspense and science fiction stuff, this is, I highly recommend Encounter. The 2021, not the 2018. The one I'm talking about is the one that came out in December. It's out there, and I really liked it because Hattie, his parole officer, is played by Octavia Spencer, which is an actress that I really do enjoy watching, and she can play just about any part. Is seeming like she made a really good parole officer, and it was very believable. And the ending kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, I don't know what's fixing to happen. I was fixing to be mad, but luckily that what I thought was going to happen didn't happen. But I want y'all to go check out Encounter. Like I said, it's on Prime Video for free. It's got audio description. And I really hope y'all like it. I would love to hear comments about it from all of y'all. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Don't be blindsided. And we will be back next week. Thanks.